Alright guys, I'm doing a quick review of the Dremel Saw-Max. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that my basic use for this was going to be cutting steel. I've got some 440C, I believe that's what it is, stainless. And here I've got some stock, I think this is 1/8 inch thick 1080 steel. So basically what I wanted to do is get something that I could create, at least to a part, a knife form. And I've been using this exclusively. This is the Dremel Saw-Max. And I've got a quick review of it. I'm not reviewing it as a masonry saw, as any wood saw, any of the other things, because I think if you can do metal, all the rest of the stuff pretty much falls into place. In any case, the Dremel Saw-Max is not that heavy, and it is basically, if you look at the construction here, you can pop this down. It's basically in the form of a classic saw, even more of a pseudo table saw. Basically, you drop the abrasive disc down a certain length beneath the plastic plate here, and then you set it flat and you cut across. Now that is both good and bad. It's good in that you can get a variable depth. For instance, when I initially done this and created this knife blank, I ran it at a very deep cut because I was cutting two different pieces here at the same time. I actually cut the blank, or the piece of metal that I made this so-so knife blank out of the full extension of this metal. I cut here and I cut through the stock that worked as the backboard, the wood, as well as the 1080 steel, and it ate the abrasive disc alive. I mean, it was down to probably a half of what you see now. So that was a mistake on my part. So that was not a fault of the Dremel Saw-Max. So basically, it did a good job, and I was pushing it and forcing it, so I just ate that abrasive media up. Very good. It did a good job. I was using it wrong. The later here with a small, the equally small abrasive disc, I cut here. I still cut a little bit deep, but I could have made it a lot shallower. But I ate a lot less of the disc during the process that I did before, and that's great. Now that's a plus. Now it's also a plus. You have to be careful because you're not going to get a clear view of the blade like you would in a conventional saw or an angle grinder with an abrasive blade. So you've got to be real careful because you will go off point a little bit. If you'll notice on the second piece, I went from one end and I attempted to go back and hit the same area, but I created a little extra spine of steel there, which would be no problem to remove. So that was only a minor annoyance. And here you can see the depth of your cut here, from 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and 1/16 inch. So you can actually see your depth here, and I could have made that a lot better. So it really will do what you need. The only gotcha is the blades. I have not found a good source for all metal blades, so I bought this pack. It was part of a package deal, no big deal. I still have a lot of metal blades in there, but you are dependent to a great degree on Dremel. And Dremel, like any manufacturer of a tool, if they have the sole control over the particular piece that makes that tool work, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Nothing wrong with that. That's just the way business works. So I really would give this a strong B plus. It really does what it says, but it does tear the abrasive wheel down, so it could get expensive. Now, in addition to this, I have this is a Porter cable angle grinder, and I've got a cutting blade and a cutting blade attachment, a bracket for a cutting blade. Now, what that will allow me to do is to cut a little bit more, a little bit faster. And since there are going to be 1,000 vendors for this particular size of either grinding disc or cutting disc, it's going to be easy to find a cheap one. You're going to be able to find it probably by the gross on eBay for some reasonable price. So I give the Dremel Saw-Max a very strong buy with reservations. It will do it. Now, it does cut masonry and wood. I have no reason to think if you cut metal, everything else is pretty much academic. It can be cut. So I'm just doing the metal part here. If you want to, delve into the rest and check a difference, you can check some of the other reviews. But I believe if you can cut metal, everything else is a walk in the park. So I just want to give you a quick review of the Dremel Saw-Max. Worth the money? Yeah, it is. It really is. Especially if you're going to not be cutting a lot of material. If you're going to be cutting a lot of material, I would probably also have one of these, or that would be my sole cutter. Porter cable grinder or any other grinder, or basically the same format, they'll work great. I just wanted to give you this quick review of the Dremel Saw-Max, and I will be reviewing a few other tools that I'm using for my knife making. So you'll be seeing those pop up here and there. And I will see you next time. You have a wonderful day.